Alright, 3, 2, 1, go. Bismillah. Ya Ish, brother. Assalamu alaikum. How are you? Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. One of my first questions I wanted to ask is like, where did it all start? Graphic design. Is it graphic design?
Graphic design, yeah. So, long story.
Where
I
from
actually started being creative with drawing like 3 years old. My dad is a artisan, so he taught me. I've been drawing ever since, and then when I wanted to go study, I thought I was going to do painting for the rest of my life. Part of the course was graphic design, and then in doing my studies, I fell in love with graphic design. Married the two into digital illustration, which is what I still do, and then graphic design sort of took off during COVID. Branding and things along those lines. So I just kept going with it, trying to make a career out of something that people would usually scoff on. And be like, it's not a sustainable career and whatever, but I'm going with it. It's been working for me so far. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. No, that's good. You know, when you have that vision, that goal, you just have to keep on knocking.
100%.
No matter what happens, no matter how many people laugh at you, this is dumb, it's not gonna work. And that's one thing I always tell people is like, with me, I was laughed at, I was mocked at when I started and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, you can't let such negativity, because there's maybe 2-3 people that tell you that. If you count, it's never over 10. But there's a few numbers that tell you that. But majority of people, if they love it, they will continue and continue.
100%.
And in the painting, and you know you're a painter, like a painter, paint houses and stuff.
That's no, not painting houses. I'm talking about canvases and things like that.
Okay.
Fine arts. I haven't done a lot. I think the most recent one was kind of a hybrid, where we painted and built an outcome. So we used wood pieces and canvas and things like that. My late uncle, used to captain at Primrose. He started doing that. I'll send you some pics and you can see it. Beautiful stuff. So after he passed away, my auntie and I got together to do one for my cousin for her wedding. It's amazing. But on painting in general, there was like 2 or 3 that I actually sold. It wasn't really sustainable, that's why I had to shift. But within that niche, obviously, you know, not giving up on your dream.
Yeah.
But if you go to my mother's place of work, you'll still find a portrait of Nelson Mandela, one of the doctors that she works with. It was my first painting I sold for 150 rand.
Okay.
10 years ago.
Yeah.
So that, but don't ask me to paint your house. It's not gonna work out.
No, and then the canvas and stuff that you did, then you shifted to whatever, like the next thing, see if it worked, then the next thing.
Yeah.
And that's basically till you find that.
Yeah. So at the record, you're trying to touch on where we get to the rugby.
yes. Then Illustro, the branding, the stuff, and then last year you actually started with it.
Technically, it was 2019.
Okay.
So end of the season in 2019, I put together a whole list of things that I wanted to do, but the initial idea was to approach Western Province, sell them the idea or give it to them, because I just wanted to see club rugby prosper. You know what I mean? Then COVID happened. In that time I got married also. And then around 2022, my wife and I would go watch the odd game here in the False Bay, UWC, UCT, you know, the upper echelon of the games. And I started falling back in love with club rugby. Like that obviously died down because COVID was there. And then last year something just told me, there's a gap here, man, because you know CJ Sports Media, Charlton Jacobs.
I know him.
Yeah. So he stopped in late 2022, and I was like, yo, there's a gap.
You know what?
Let me do something here, man. I wasn't aware of you at the time because I wasn't on TikTok. So it was strictly like Facebook.
Yeah.
And I went for it. And
you know, you touching on CJ now, I used to follow him.
Yeah.
I used to have him on WhatsApp
Okay.
and stuff like that. So I used to send him stuff. Say something happened by our club, I used to send him the results and stuff like that. And then one day he announced he's moving, he's taking another step towards something. And it's the same thing like you said, like in the market there was a gap and he stepped down. And I also stood and I watched and I said, okay, I'm not gonna post all the pictures on Facebook. But then you see that there's a lot of people there, man. Like updates always come there.
Yeah.
I think it's a one page we always go to, the video something of that. And you tell yourself, okay, but there's already people there. And then I just told myself, like, okay, then why not go on, then I came up with the idea, Club Rugby updates. And I told myself, okay, like, then I wanted to start a page on Facebook. But then there was other guys that did Club Rugby videos again.
Okay.
And they also did updates and that. And then I thought, okay, but you saw already here on Facebook, you saw already on YouTube. And then I go on TikTok and I start typing in and it's nothing. And I was like, change this, quick, take the page that I had, change the name and everything, and hit the first post. And just like that, I took off.
Yeah,
and that's basically like when I knew. And the sad part is when I started, I didn't know that the season was again ending. So I was a bit nervous for the following year. And then I did not 2 full years and I realized, okay, it's easy and stuff like that. We could gauge with lots of people and stuff.
So you started around the same time, like 2022 when Charlton ended?
Yes, when he ended, then a week later, and then I did the one video on the results of Super League ABC, and then I used to give my opinions, like the vision I see and stuff. But the thing for me was like, I could post it, no one knew who I was.
Yeah.
Like I could do a voiceover, they didn't know who I was. I hide behind the screen and I just win at it. And then eventually, like when time went on, certain people picked up. Like, hey, you doing this, you doing it. And then Club Rugby videos, there are other guys, I forgot the name, I'm sorry, JP's one guy. And then then he messaged me and he's like, look here, we want you on the show and stuff like that. And that's the first time like when people get to know who I am, what I'm doing and stuff like that. And then from there now basically, I started like showing my face more and more and more. Yeah, but so you also like, from there you started.
Yeah, and same like you, I also didn't want people to know who I was, because with even Illustro proper, like the complete brand that I started in 2014 way back, I never put a face to it. If you called me, you didn't know who I was. This is what I need. Okay, we're fully remote. I'll send you what you need. Money in my account, let's go. Work's done. But I think it's because of Rangers. Because I worked so closely with the Rangers that people started to pick up that this is, issues Illustro. It's so funny that people don't even know, a lot of people don't know my real name. I am just Illustro to them.
It is just.
It's crazy.
The only time that I got to know your name was like last year when you came up. And then the first interaction we had was on TikTok, when you inboxed me and said together. Because for me it was like, but what I used to do was basically, the moment someone posts on Facebook or stuff like that, then I take that and I copy and paste and put it on that, because for me it was just the faster the news go out, the quicker the traction and everything. So I never cared how nice it looked or stuff. It was just, this is the information, here we go. If I'm wrong, verify it in the comments. Some people say, no, this is the actual score. But the main thing was like when the game finished 5:30, by 20 to 6, they had to be out. And that was the main thing. I didn't care. And then you came up with that, and that's how we first had our first interaction and stuff. People, but there's many jokes coming here.
There's people that thought that I am you.
Yeah.
Because of how much you used my stuff in the beginning when I started. It was actually crazy how much times I had to defend myself against the Delft community because they were convinced that you hate them.
Yeah.
They were telling me in the Facebook comments, you can never say anything nice about Delft. And this was on the Delft congratulations post when they won the top 9. I was like, what are you talking about? And then it clicked. Oh, they're talking about Adil.
I know you sent me a voice note.
Yeah, it was crazy, bro. But like you guys can see now, we're two separate entities.
People, yeah. No, I remember, I remember your voice note when you told me, hey, we need to like sit down because people actually think I'm you.
Yeah.
And I also used to get that when people used to say, yeah, Illustro come. And I said, I don't have, you see me with a camera, I don't have a camera. And they're like, okay, like,
That's insane.
But it was very funny.
Yeah, well, now people can see that we're actually two separate entities. Inshallah, maybe one day we can be one.
Yeah, inshallah,
That's
work on
always
something coming
thing.
soon. We'll not say anything,
I'm
Always-
dropping subtle bombs,
but
yeah.
just wait
But
and
yeah,
see.
it's been good, bro. It's been really good. The way the season panned out, yeah, I also make mistakes. You talking about how quick you get the things out. I'm under pressure from my small community for how fast they want updates. And I don't think people realize that when you have to do that and still create something that looks more,
Yeah,
there's so much pressure. Plus it's Saturday, you want to spend time with your family also. And gives into mistakes and that. But I mean, I took it on the chin and I rolled with it. I actually got into trouble with Denzel
for
for posting incorrect updates. He just asked me to not do that. So I
The log
had
thing.
to, yeah, I kind of had to take it a bit slower. Just to make sure that things are correct. Because I didn't want to get into trouble with province. I mean, if they say stop, then I have to stop. And nobody wants that.
Why then? Because
In the beginning, I was just taking my info from any source. I didn't know what was, like, who was who. Because before I started, I only really had connections in Cali's, Primrose and Rangers. My network wasn't as big as it is now. And Abduladim from Manenberg,
yeah.
my second cousin. So that was my very small network, and those were the people that I like knew, okay, I'm gonna get solid info from you. But as far as the Metro League and things, I didn't have anyone. So I was getting incorrect figures, like the dude from Imikai, for example, would give me a point scoreline that is 2 more than what I got from the guy from Bishop Labours. So I was bound to make mistakes, but I mean, we grow from there.
And that's the thing, even with the locks, sometimes the point difference mustn't be in. Just win, lose, this is the points.
Yeah.
And then maybe you can go, when province put it up, you can see it, all that stuff. Because I know, like, even the other guys, JP, they also used to do that. But then I show that I was, and they said they got this wrong and that wrong. But yeah, maybe something to think about. I'm also one, after the game, I would always message for Super League A, B and C, because you get it like immediately. So, because we play together basically, and like we're driving home, I said Apple forward, and then in 10 minutes you would like basically send me everything. I just take anyone's picture on the day. If I see a outstanding result of a team, I go on that team site, take a picture, copy, paste, go, and then that's basically like I was explaining to one person of Ahmadiyas that when they asked me to do the live thing, man. And what people don't understand is like there's no like hatred against him or like I don't want to do them anymore. There's a time where you must know who's good in something, man, and you must work with that person. And like when one of the EXCO members messaged me and said, like, for example, like can you do the live draw? I was like, but Illustro was there. Look at these, like the way you do the stuff. It looks quiet, man. The graphics and everything. Nah, I'm gonna just copy and paste, and they don't look nice. You understand? But alhamdulillah, they really love the work, and hopefully, inshallah,
the
do many
community
more.
teams was, inshallah, bro. The community teams was, I don't know, it was a fever dream for me. That week, it was only a week that I had to prep all of those things. It went so fast, I didn't even remember when and where I did what. Obviously, when I met you for the first time on Saturday, the first thing I did tell you was shukran for plugging me there. And hopefully it opens doors, inshallah. But yeah, crazy that one of my biggest dreams, the people that I'm close to, I'll always speak to them where rugby is concerned. is to have an Illustro branded tournament one day with those specific teams. Obviously, there were like 3 or 4 teams missing on the day. I won't mention them, but
No, you see the timing. Ramadan is coming. Lots of
100%.
teams are playing earlier and stuff like that. I was had a I had an argument with one of our people.
Yeah.
And I was saying like, how can we play on the first? We only like 3-4 weeks into training.
Yeah.
Like bodies is gonna get sore and you can get the injury that maybe put someone out for the rest of the season. When you play community teams, you know, like you're playing for 10 minutes.
Yeah.
My first game against Rosa, I only played 8 minutes and I said like, shut me.
Yeah.
When a guy rounded me, the fire of Rosa, I was burning in. And that's the thing, like people are saying, oh, this happened and that stuff. But what they don't know is like it's part of the game. Like you're gonna get bounced, you're gonna be beaten, someone's gonna catch you and stuff like that. So it's just like in the moment, like, and being honest with yourself, when he did that and he rounded me and I looked like I could have analyzed it, like you're supposed to take me off because I asked to come off. Before that I asked, like I was tired. So but imagine playing a 40-minute in a 3-week turnaround. It's never gonna work.
That day also, the heat was insane. But yeah, look, I completely get what you're saying, bro. I played 2 games of 7s in my life and I'll never do it again. I won't even think about it. Not still 10s also, I'm not built for that. But yeah, like I was saying, the community teams is a nice baseline of where I want to be. With an Illustro Grand tournament, with those specific teams. And it's no slight against your Super League A teams and anything like that. It's just that you and I would know that this, and to put it bluntly, colored Muslim community. It means a lot to us. Those derby days are the bigger days in the year for us. And that is why I want to surround myself with those teams specifically. I know they can be bad blood and things sometimes because I mean, we all.
Yeah, and what I do believe is like, I have so much faith in the 90s kids and the 2000 kids that they're gonna change a lot of things in the future because of like I was saying to one of the players, was telling me, yo, like man, I work in a Rosa, like there's a love that I didn't know it's there, man. Like how we were after the game, like we speak and stuff like that. When the past, I would never go to a Rose. Wallahi. Like when I used to play them and all that stuff, it's just take hands and go like. But the generation now is better in the sense of like they're bonding more. And that I was speaking to one of the people of SKW, and I was like saying to him also in the week, like it's nice to see that other clubs like Primrose, Rangers, Collegians, and that they're going for the SKW first team jersey. And I told him, in my opinion, it's a unique first team jersey. With all due respects to Super League B team, Super League C, because that's the most difficult jersey to make in and for any Muslim player, like you said, like to go there. Imagine you make it, you know, and that with that fan base, you know, there's an honest fan base from New York. I always speak about them, but to understand it and to see people now going there, where it's nice to see, give it a go, and you can always go back to your club.
100%, yeah. You have to beat Ricky's record, come back.
But then like now, like you get to CJ, you get to start posting it and that stuff. What was your reaction like? Are you nervous or?
No, I didn't really think much of it. I was just gonna upload pictures with some music playing in the background and call it a day. You know, if there's something wrong, then correct me. And then I think it was like 2 weeks in, and then I was like, I can make something more of this. I can be a TikToker or a content creator, whatever you want to call it. And then I just started talking over videos. It became more time consuming for me specifically, because obviously I have to create everything and then do the voiceover and whatever. So that's why I kind of killed that after a while. But I just ran with it. This is a dopamine hit.
Yeah, you know, you get that.
So and then I crossed the first 1,000 followers and I was like, maybe it's something. Let's see where we can go. Then I started the YouTube and
The
yeah, things
YouTube
just
was
got,
nice, and that's what I wanted
Yeah.
to touch on the club ranking. Like, what made you?
my brother. He has this habit. If you watch this like, I'm sorry in advance. I used to work here in an office, and then if he was at home, he's a teacher, but if he had like a day off or something, he'd bother me the whole time with nonsensical things. So one day he just came to me and he was like, "What if you do like a ranking system for the clubs?" And I was like, "You know what, no. For all that you're irritating me so much, that's a
No,
brilliant
yes.
idea." And then I sat with it for like 2 days, worked out the math and everything. And then I started putting it in Excel, and then my wife helped me with those things, the formulae and stuff, because I'm not for the math of that. I mean, I created the math, but it goes over my head when coming to calculate things and whatever. So we just put in formulas and stuff. Really a team effort, between myself, my wife, and my brother. And then that took off. Whether it was for the good things or the bad things, some people got really upset when they saw the club was lower down than that.
Yeah, and what people don't understand is like, it's the honesty, man. Like I was telling someone that like, this is our peak. This is the furthest that Manama can go. Like, this is.
Are you talking about my rankings now?
No, I'm speaking like in a sense of, when you see stuff like that, man. Like, you see that rankings. I check the rankings and I always like, look, who's Manenberg. Then I look, okay, where's all the other Muslim clubs? Like, how do you get up and stuff like that? Then I always say, okay, this is our peak. Alright, so what do the club do with it? Knowing that, okay, this is where we want to be here.
Yeah.
What steps are we gonna take to get there eventually and stuff like that? And then you realize, like, stuff like, what if our lights work?
Yeah.
Because we did everything we could for the last 2 years, how to practice, all the situation, go to this club, us here, like we same boat like collegians and rugby club. And then eventually, like last week, we get our lights.
And look mooi.
My bro, we supposed to train an hour.
Yeah.
Because there's normally what we used to train. But when that Sir Blake, the goat, when he put on the lights, the reaction of the players. They shouting, we first pumping. So we went an extra hour.
Okay.
And
Why?
like, we were excited, and when we came to the tents, because we had that gears Thursday.
Yeah.
And that was the one thing missing at Manenberg Rangers. It was always the lights. If you give us a full field to practice on, then you will see the bird in full flight. How they made Super League C, how they went unbeaten, and stuff like that. It's because of they had lights, they had idea, because it's muscle memory. If you practice in a 20-meter block, you're gonna play rugby in a 20-meter block. You can never take that out. And now you put them in the whole field, and like the Saturday pass, like how we win on, and even like people coming to me and like Elias, like sending me a message like, yo, that team, just fitness and stuff like that. So it's only our second session now, last night, that we used the whole field.
Okay.
And it was killing us. It's like the clicking up. Because now we're running 100 meters, proper 100 meters, proper Malcolms, proper Broncos, break it up, like you know where the field is and stuff like that. So it's like, it's excited.
You can never say what exactly is gonna, I don't know, for the irony or turn on the lights in the players at the club. And what I mean by that is, it was something as simple as lighting up your field to get you guys going. You know what I mean? And I think that's a good message for the smaller teams. You never know what's gonna light the fire under them. You know what I mean?
And especially if you don't pay.
Yeah.
And if you don't pay, it takes a lot of like the us, it was when you put the lights up, then you will see us. That was just the attitude. So no matter how everyone like try to bowl, try to help, try to ignite something or stuff like that, it was always the excuse was, once the lights up, you're gonna see So now, I was saying in a group, Owens, the lights are up now.
Yeah.
So now you're seeing like our numbers last night was like 35, 36 players. Where in the past, a pre-season would have been like 15 to 20. So just because of the lights, you get like an extra 15 players.
Yeah.
And that bowls something at the end of the day. Unless your collisions are rugby club, no lights, no nothing, 100 players. The community special. But that's a difference again. But it's just like that. For certain clubs, it takes just that one switch.
Yeah, 100%. And I think a lot of the small clubs need that. Whatever it is at the club, we don't know. We can't account for the condition of all of those clubs, but it could be that one thing as simple as lights or transportation for your players or something like that. That's going to keep things going. I mean, we all want to see competitive rugby.
Everywhere. My bro, the City League, Southern League, Northern League, people are paying.
Yeah,
they are
crazy.
paying.
The medical aid.
They're paying to actually get out of there.
Yeah.
And the other problem is once you get out of it, can you maintain that?
Yeah.
And there's one club already, there's already problems, you know. But that's the other thing also, like I'm busy with the video now. I'm structuring, like try to explain it, an idea for many clubs, like how to get a paying system, but a fair paying system.
Okay.
And then once you can put that in place, then you know basically, no matter who comes, it's across the board that this is what's gonna happen. But inshallah, see how it goes. So now you move, you start posting, you start getting all that stuff up. To clubs like DM get hold of you.
Yeah, without revealing too much, yes. The answer is yes. It's not a secret that I am working with clubs. I mean, everybody already knows about Primrose, Rangers, but there's a few more in the pipeline. I can't obviously disclose to the general public. But alhamdulillah, look, I don't say no for now. Getting my name out there is a big deal, but what I do for these clubs is an investment on my part. My time is an investment. So when they reach out to me, money has to talk.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, this is my career, and I am trying to make it 100% rugby, because I don't think a lot of people have the opportunity to take two things that they love and make it one job. You know what I mean? I've got a rugby, I've got my design, and I love both. And getting to do this it's unreal for me every day, Mulu. You have no idea how grateful I am. Obviously to the community that make it possible also. But just to be able to do it, there's no words.
I know what you say, and the thing that always like affects me sometimes when you hear stuff like clubs paying players, right? And then when a person comes that does a design and it's like, can you do a free job or stuff like that? For me, like I hate that in a sense of you can go for that player, you can pay that player. Then when it comes to maybe you and stuff, then there's something like a freebie or his passion and that stuff. And we need to move away from that mindset, like that switch. Whether it's gonna be 1,000 rand for the week, you know, it takes time, it's consuming and stuff like that. Like someone was messaging me and telling me like the transfer news were a bit slow and stuff like that. So I was like, look, this is a passion. It's not a full-time job. I do this purely out of love, and I post when I can. And I don't read all the comments. Someone messaged me, can you please delete that post, because I didn't say reply to the person. I just archive the person. Because at the end of the day, that person himself is not on TikTok. Like, did someone send you like what's happening? And you know, and for me it's like I post if I can. If I can't today, I can't, because I know like I have to go Uber, I have to go drive transport at night, I have to go practice. It's a lot of stuff. I have to try to get the podcast once a week in. So like
it's everything outside of your personal life.
And then you get maybe someone that this is his life. And then they don't actually want to pay. And there's someone always told me like, if a person don't want to pay, then that's not your target market.
Yeah.
You know, that's not your market.
Yeah.
Your market is above that, where someone is actually going to take up your time and give that. And hopefully clubs, because my thing was always like, he's the best designer. It's not like to rub it in you. And I see stuff as like, for example, I look, like when you started posting, I looked at it and I look at the others and I said, but this looks more beautiful. It's going to work on my page.
Yeah.
It's not like chummy, but this is class. And that's my thing. At the end of the day, it's quality, and with quality comes, hopefully, inshallah. I hope if people can give players 10,000 and then signing on bonus, what's doing it and that.
Yeah.
So that stuff. Hopefully, inshallah, it goes and I know like this is a passion. It's the same with me doing podcasts and stuff. It's so free now, but hopefully one day it will monetize something where we can go into it all the time. But the reality is that if you can give, then give.
Yeah.
Don't be cheap, because if you give, and unlucky now, there's a saying that if a person gives, then Allah gives him tenfold. You know, you must look at it in that way, and hopefully they do look at it in that way. And the posting and then all that creative stuff. Nick, this year your second season, full on. How do you feel?
Full on. Right now I am a bit stressed. So the reason things kind of went quiet last year when I stopped doing the voiceover audio and stuff is because I had my first child.
MashaAllah.
So, you know, still, because I'm new to being a father, obviously, having to balance this and that, because the time away, it's not just time away from my wife now, it's time away from my child on a Saturday. So I have to kind of strike the middle ground between that going into the season, but hopefully it's not a major issue, inshallah. So that's why I say, if I can make this my full time, bro, then I don't have to worry about that, because I have them 6 other days of the week, and Saturday is my main working day. And that's where we want to be, inshallah.
And future goals for this year? Not too much, or?
So look, there's the revamp of the rankings. Obviously, we need to look at a more digestible way of putting it out there. Before we started recording, we obviously discussed something, and I see that as one of the ways that the rankings can be incorporated. The other goal is to, like I said earlier, also is to get this colored Muslim community under my wing, as much of them as possible. From my account, there's about 13 teams that fall under that banner. I'd be happy with 6 for this year, inshallah.
Inshallah.
So that's the goal going forward, and then from 2025 into 2026, we can look at new things. I don't know if you saw, I posted it, what I call the Illustro shield. It's something that I would like to have made and actually physically hand over to the clubs, because to have a heritage trophy like that would be something.
You know what I was thinking about now? You speak about that now. I saw it in the ITM Cup.
The Rainforest Shield.
Yeah,
so
I saw that,
like that,
and I always had this in my mind where you create this cup, alright, and then you have it in say the Super League B. There's 4 teams there, 5, 6 teams there, alright. Whoever wins, you start off with one. Say for example, you give it Collegians the long service, right? So they have the cup. They say Ahmadiyya's win Collegians, then Hamas get the they get it. Then Hamas in 3 weeks play Primrose, and Primrose win them. And a week after that, Primrose play Vineyards win them. So you have that in the B running, alright? And then in the C you have another 3-4 teams. So you create another one there. You understand? And that basically floats. And then you have now in the City Northern and Southern League, and you have a trophy. And it will be quiet. And then at the end of the day, like if I have pre-season games and stuff like that, then that's also on the line. Even though it's like a test, but it's on the line. But and then you can maybe have a go and stuff like that. And that has always been my vision with the Muslim clubs, like and that's what I say again. There you came up with it, and you must be happy for the next person, and then because at the end of the day, like when you message me and stuff, and I said, yo, like what you doing, I had the vision, but I didn't have the time.
Yeah.
You understand? Because the message would have been wrong. Hey, don't tell me you're copying me, you're trying to steal. But it's cake for everyone.
Yeah.
And that's what I always say, even with the Muslim clubs, like stuff like when you host a game, split the gate fees. That's something you can look at in the future and stuff like that. And try to host many games again on City Park and then split the gate fee. And then everyone eats from the cake.
Exactly.
Put 2 stands up, one for the team, a home team, one team for the one away team. And basically everyone have a liquor time and that. Now we can't play this derby because they take everything. But now at the end of the day, that's why I don't, like I was saying to someone yesterday, that's why I don't miss with chairmen of a club. When they phone me, where do you get the info? Don't speak to me. Shukran. You don't need to know. If I'm wrong, factual prove it that I'm wrong. And then I will come out and say, okay, I made a mistake. But if you can't factual prove it, don't waste my time. Because like you have work, I also have work. And you can't always data and Wi-Fi.
I think the reason people are like that is because they don't understand the full extent of what we do. So until you start doing it yourself, you don't really know what's going on. There's research, obviously, that goes into it. There's, okay, you more off the cuff kind of guy, but I mean, another guy would have had to script what he has to say. And that's past the fact checking and all of those things that you obviously have your network for.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of work and it's a
it's like, a lot of hours. It's like a lot of people ask, like, this is how it works. Like, you will never know. Sometimes there's 5 ways how I take the info, alright? Sometimes a player directly tell me, alright? Then I will do research with that player. I'll say, okay, if I do this and you're lying, for example, I will never post you again.
Yeah.
Like, you either come back to me when you sort it, you have everything. I don't need to know the details, you're gonna get so much. All I need to know is basically you are going. Alright, so when I put this out, you are going. If you lie, alright, I have your number saved under where you came from and stuff. So if you message me in the future, whether you are 100% accurate, I still won't use you. Because you broke a trust, because at the end of the day, I'm going out there. Alright? The second way is where a coach comes to me and he messages me. Or someone inside of the Exco messages me and tells me, put this out, get the feeling for it. I'm going to read the comments, I will see the reaction. Is this a good way to go about it?
That's smart.
Alright? And then we see how the market look. We use your page. Alright? Kanala, okay, I'll do it for you. Alright? Then the other way is where a wife, the person's wife again message me. Or the girlfriend. And they ask, okay, how do you go about it? Where do you get it? I says, okay, this is the line of how I get the info. And then they will say, okay, like, my husband, my boyfriend is going here and that stuff. You ask if you can do it and stuff. And I'll tell you, okay, I'll take your word. But if you're lying again, I won't do any future thing. Alright? And then the 5th one is where, this is where the fan watches the practice. Alright? He takes a photo of the player there. He tells me the player's there. Then again, I don't use that photo because maybe they all know it's him. So maybe he took a photo, for example. He took a photo, he was on practice. This was seen in a group or whatever. So this is the player's here. Now you can't take that photo. So now I will go on Facebook or I will go on Instagram and I'll search this person. Now I get that person, take his rugby pics, put it together, hit it. Alright? But if I'm wrong, it comes again. If the information is wrong, you can hold me accountable. If the information is not wrong, why are you basically trying to say that I'm lying or trying to find out? Because sometimes people, they want to control everything, man. And such people, they don't go far in life. Because now it's honest, you will see they don't last. That's my honest opinion. They will never last because it runs out, man. To control everything, it takes a lot out of you. And the time and energy that you spend into that has no basis, it's a lot. So with that stuff come out and that post goes out and stuff like that, it's basically, that's where I got it. But you can't go to the player and say, yeah, he said so, or he got it this and that stuff. Because at the end of the day, I always tell the player at the end of the day, or the wife, or the ex-co member that asks me about this or that, then I always tell them, no one needs to know. I will tell no one the information. And don't, if they say I said so, they can't. It's basically when someone comes to you and says, yeah, Adrizo said so, and that, you say, okay, I'm going to phone him quick. Then that's how you teach the person's character again. Because it's either I lie or he lie. And the person that's there, then you will know also who you're dealing with in the future and stuff. So for me, it's like, I do this for the fun of it. And it's always based on my time. If I can, if I can't, I can't. But yeah, but that's basically how I go about it. And I know these people, they, like I always use this, one uncle, a big name, phoned me, how do you get the info of the place? And I said, hey, check your Facebook. You're taking photos. It's simple. Sometimes you don't just need the information. The information that they get the following week, so they don't take photos anymore.
That's how it is.
But that's it again. But alhamdulillah, for me, it's always about the players, man.
Yeah,
I've always been for them, and they know that, and they can see it because they can see what I'm doing basically. And rugby has a potential where one day they can take 6 months off and just focus on it, and they're gonna earn a good wage for that 6 months. But then they must go work in a call center for the next 6 months. Or by words or something.
Come to me, I'll outsource some graphic design work to you guys.
Yeah, but inshallah, and then is there anything else?
Well, the next thing is obviously the United Rugby teams. This is going to be the first time that I rub shoulders with the likes of these teams. We've got the Helderberg teams, and then there's about 4 Paul teams there. It's outside of what I'm used to, so it's going to be interesting to be amongst them.
The north is beautiful. I always say Strand, and that place is here. The Makassa, the people that I've gotten to know that side in Strand and stuff like that. They're quiet, and they love their rugby, and the talent pool is bigger than what we actually think. You know, we in a block, sometimes we think everything is here, but when you go look a bit over that block, and you realize,
Did you see the map that I did?
Yes.
So you can see exactly how widespread it is.
Shukran. On a map thing here and stuff like that, is there any time where you send that to the union, especially the Southern, Northern City League, like, do you tell them, like, can this teams be here? I know traveling, costing.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I'm sorry, Denzel. Ever since you said, look, take a step back, this is nothing against him, right? This is just me personally. I took it as I'm encroaching on territories and I need to keep my mouth shut. So I kind of backed away from the whole idea of even handing over what I have to province. I was like, let me do it on my own so that any fallback comes onto me myself. I just haven't thought about province since then. I would like to at least be able to have a conversation with them about it. You know, just hear their thoughts on how they would structure things. Because at the moment, what I can tell you is we know that 2 City League teams are going up to Super League C. And then 1 City League team is falling out because they didn't play at all this year, which means we only have 5 City League teams. Then there's 2 teams that were relegated that's going into the Southern League. That's Masipumalele and Blue Jet. So you've got a field of 9 in the Northern League, 10 in the Southern League, and 5 in the City League. At some point, you kind of have to think about, okay, how are we going to reconsolidate this now, because it's not lining up. And I can actually see province just putting Blue Jet and Masipumalele into the City League, and it makes no sense. So that's why I do things like this. And I like to talk about it, but when it comes to Illustro Rugby, the brand, it's not always the best for business because it doesn't generate a lot of interest. You know what I mean? So if I could have the right ear to talk to about it, then 100% I would do it. So maybe after we're done here, I'll drop him an email.
Because at the end of the day, I remember one of our ex-co, I put us in the Northern League 1 year.
Yeah.
It was terrible. Like it was terrible. Like to travel from Manenberg 80 kilometers. That's heavy. Plus, you must feel 3 teams. That we used to play third team, second team, and first team because we couldn't and then we came back to the City League, and especially when we made top 9. Last year we fell short, but the City was the strongest it could be because they were pumping money in it. And sometimes when you have close by teams, like I feel like Rockland sometimes, like 10 kilometers.
Yeah, look, okay, the map that I put out just shows you like pin locations of where the teams are. It doesn't take into consideration the road to get there. So it could be close by, but they can perhaps be a case where it's not a direct road to there, then it doesn't fall under the same thing. That's something that I haven't looked at yet. This is just based on my knowledge of how Cape Town works. But like, you have to scratch your head when you see that Watson is in the Southern League and Young Stars is in the Southern League when they clearly belong in the City League.
In the City League because it's just here.
Yeah. Gardens and Amadeus got promoted out of the City League. And those are 2 teams that are very close to Young Stars and Watson here. So that part doesn't make sense to me. People have made arguments for
look at it
as well.
Yeah. But look, the Southern League is Southern League is sometimes it's a weak league, man.
Yeah.
And this is why teams actually struggle when they come in the top 9.
Yeah.
Because they don't play hard teams the whole time and stuff like that. But if you put the actual teams that must be in the Southern League, then you make it stronger.
Yeah. So, I don't know, what I would really love for Province to do is to scrap the whole, I don't know how you're going to feel about this, but hear me out. It's currently City, Southern and Northern, right? Take City away and put City into the Southern League. Northern is full. There's a lot of teams there, and you have the entirety of Paul as well. So whether it's City League helping the Southern League step up to a new level of rugby or just filling their ranks, it's something that works out better because then all clubs play a similar amount of games. Because we have 15 teams in the Super League and we're sitting with 10 here in the zones, and they have to go into a second round and they play a longer season.
18 games.
Yeah. So if you reconsolidate that to have a Northern and a Southern with 15 teams each, then everybody plays the same amount of rugby.
But then how do they go up the Super League?
Hear me out. 3, and get the Paul guys involved. If you don't like that, you can always go 4-4 and a wild card into the top 9.
But then how many games is that?
It's still gonna give them more games. But look, I thought about this. I can't give you the exact breakdown of it, but it is there somewhere. Once this is out, I'll put it on my channels and maybe you can have a look at it and review also. But it is there. I've got a whole, my notes on my phone is full of how to fix.
I just imagine. And sometimes you need someone like that. And like, look, for me now, I'm a chance taker, man.
Yeah.
I say how it is. It's my opinion, I don't care.
Yeah,
like all views is my opinion. We can agree to disagree. Don't get emotionally attached.
Yeah.
Because that's when you get hurt. That's when you not physically get hurt, you actually feel it, man.
Yeah.
In a sense of that. And you become very emotionally involved.
Yeah.
And that's the one thing. We'll take on a community things this past weekend.
Look, it was great. It was, apart from the sun, I think I had a liquor time. To just be there on the sidelines with Amadeus, obviously it's no secret that I work closely with him to bring the vision of the tournament to life. It was liquor to sit there on the sideline and see how Exco actually works from an outside view. Like, obviously I know Rangers because I've worked with them for a while.
No speak.
I've worked with them for a while, but to see the difference between clubs and see how things work there, that was cool. They told me at some point, look here, there's 2 massive screens there, go get the branding up there. And I was like, you know what? I ran home for an hour, I put a few graphics together because the ones for your phone is not gonna obviously fit. And put it on the screen, and I was probably 70 meters away from the screen, and I didn't realize what I just done. When I turned around and I was like, Community Teens logo and Illustro logo below that, I was like, yo. I took out my phone, I took a quick video that I didn't share with anybody, and I will never share it with anybody. That is for me to remember how proud I was in that moment.
Yeah, I understand it. Yeah.
So, yo.
Shout out to Amadeus.
Yo,
You
for
see,
real, guys.
when they came to me, they asked me, I told them, go with this
Yeah.
guy, go with the Aish, because I knew.
I can get really emotional
I
about
know,
it
yes.
because I didn't think I was gonna be a year ago.
That's crazy, eh? I
Yeah.
can show us.
So inshallah, on to the next. There's now 10 new teams at the Strand rugby teams that I've never rubbed shoulders with before. So hopefully a similar or even
And
better
there's lots of
feeling.
work in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look at they all sort you out there. It's splash, man. They got money. They got mad. They don't mind. And then just to wrap off Super League A predictions you had time to look. Just
I'm not gonna write out Hamilton's this year again. I would love for them to make it a back-to-back because it's such a big year for them. It's their 150th. That coupled with the Villages game, there's still some dispute as to if Villages is 150 or not, or if they're 149. But either one of those two teams taking it because it's that 150, that's where my money is right now. As for what would actually happen, I would say, and as much as I don't want to say it, it's either Marty's or Hamilton.
again, hopefully.
Hopefully Hamilton.
Yeah, no, I don't like universities in any league. They hate me for that.
And that's why
I don't.
I feel the exact same. I do appreciate that they elevate the level of club rugby.
They
that we're
don't.
playing.
They don't. 100% they don't. Here's my thing. Say you take university teams, alright?
Okay.
You take UCT, you take Matis,
Yeah.
you take CPUT, you take who's all the UWs.
Mm.
You take 4 universities, alright? They play their varsity shield, their varsity cup,
Yeah.
whatever they play, alright? Then after that, that player's playing on TV, playing in that high league, goes back to the clubs where it all started.
Yeah.
Do you know what that do to players?
Okay.
That feeling when
I
you
understand.
have a, say for example, Lazane, like a explosive player, just example him,
Yeah.
alright? I watch his TikToks and stuff like that, alright? And what I see from him, he goes to Makassar.
Yeah.
The impact he will have on Makassar, people, children, and then I give you example. I was 19 years old. No, we played in a traps tournament. Jason Colby rocks up by us. Noche, Marvin Ori, Tim Swiel, Chipo Mutale, Philip Molnar, Abdurrahman Wise, Ashik Wise's brother, and Tarquin, the guy scored 50 tries in 3 seasons at Bishops. There's 8 players. They come to our club. We practice with them.
Yeah.
It's like you in a movie. It's like you're dreaming, but you in the dream and you're loving that moment. When that was finished, do you know how many players started jumping? How many players started like working on the game? Because sometimes you have this attitude, yeah, I can make it, but I don't get the chance.
Okay.
Then you see what they actually do. So imagine you take all that university teams, like your Martis and that, and they go back to Durbells, they go back. Do you know how that elevates club rugby? Because now you have a star, a guy that's admired in his community, playing by his club for that 14 games. Then you all see tight games. Now they come with that varsity team, machine man, train morning, 1 o'clock, afternoon, go take a swim. Where you work, you can't even take a swim. You can't even recover, right? They can still train it, do the extras, but ornament. When you have that people on your field, my bro, I'm telling you, like it's you to experience that, like Say for example, you take Rangers, you have a bomb somewhere.
Mm.
Just there. People will look, there is one of you that look here like, I'm training with bomb.
Yeah.
You understand? I had that, I'm still in contact with them up till today.
Yeah.
But it's because of we connected there, and that's what you want to create, sends you programs and stuff like that. So that's my vision with university teams.
Well, I understand completely where you're coming from. I don't want to touch on it too much because there are certain things that we can't talk about.
In Super League B?
Super League B. People are going to think I'm biased, but I really do think that Primrose can pull it off. I do think that they can pull it off if they are going to work as hard as they did last season, and I don't see why they wouldn't. But I would really love to see Amadeus and Cole pull it off as well.
Yeah,
it really sounds like I'm being biased because these are our teams, but for when I think about who deserves that promotion into Super League A, I can't think of anybody else.
In the Super League B, NTK boss. They're stacking, they're quiet, but I know about them.
Okay, so you do know. I haven't heard anything about NTK, and after last season's performance, I can't really judge them.
I just feel that they have something going in, little quiet, but I see.
Yeah, and in Super League C, I'm gonna be obligated to say one team's name, Rangers. But I mean, with the other two City League teams coming up, it's gonna be tight. It'll be liquor. But Atlantis deserve a promotion as well.
Yeah.
After what they did last season, I think they are one of the teams, and you can't count out young people either. I think they last season were on and off a bit. I think they need to stay on this season to go through.
And then Northern League?
Look, we don't know the breakdown of the teams yet.
Yeah,
we don't know
but
if it's going to change if I send Province an email. But with Delft gone, I need to refamiliarize myself with this. But Salarians need to come back to where they were.
No, they are. I was gonna say Salo. I know what you are doing. Is there's two players that return back there by use two auditors. I know.
That same energy from that Super League A winning Salo. We need that again, man. Southern League, again, we don't know what the breakdown is gonna be. But if things stay as they are, then Watsonia need that come up. They were so close.
I think if the league wasn't started out, also would have made it simple.
That's the unfortunate part. And then of course for the City League, with things as they are now, I do see Manenberg on top of that pile. But of course you want Silvertree to also to pull through.
Else is it's in the else.
So you clearly do know a lot of things that I don't.
Yeah, I think in the north I know about Salo. They pursue something there. I know Elsie's it's gonna be Elsie's Manenberg and Silvertree, Massey. If Massey come in the City League, then it's cut because they also they team they go up, they come down, they go up. They know, and they're gonna be very strong because most of their players didn't leave. So they I hope they go to the Southern.
Let me send that email to Province. But yeah, that's basically. I can't give you a thought on Paul or the Metro League. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I got a message, or not a message. I got a word. I don't know if you do know about this. That the Santa Cruz is busy working on getting into the zones from the Metro League. Okay. So that obviously comes with an affiliation to Western Province. I'm doing you guys a solid, one of you asked me. So that might even cause some upsets in the Northern League. For Santa Cruz was a beast last season.
Yeah, let's see. Inshallah.
Inshallah.
Yeah. Shukran, that was nice. I think we thought I was solid. See how
It's nice chatting to you, bro.
I wish you all the best.
Inshallah,
I
same
say
to you.
this from the bottom of my heart. Ya Allah, I love you for the sake of Allah.
Same to you, my brother.
It's for you to come and to see what you've done over the year and stuff. We needed that. You won't understand how much we actually needed that.
Yeah.
For you to just come and the rankings and all the stuff you do. Keep doing it. The greatest advice I can give you is a moment you don't worry about what people say, is a moment you actually grow. You know, it's always going to be naysayers. You have your circle of people that opinions that matters because they know you, but outside noise will always be there. And I always say everything that's external, you can't affect what is internal. If you're internally strong, then the external noise is just information you're getting and stuff.
100%.
So that's my best what I cross of this.
Words of wisdom from Adrizio, Mr. Adil 10K. Before we close off, I just want to say, the morning that I saw that you reached 10K, I had a tear in my eye because I was like, yo, this man did it. I'm so happy for you.
Just feel.
Yeah, look, the two of us are, without tooting my own horn, probably two of the bigger names on the content creation side of rugby. And for both of us, I hope, inshallah, that things just go from strength to strength.
Inshallah.
But nice chatting, bro.
Inshallah. Yeah, there's a surprise. It's gonna come soon.
Inshallah.
But it will happen on your afterpass.
There we go.
Everything. Inshallah. Shukran.
No
Assalamu
worries, bro.
alaikum. Yo,